Victor, my friend,
Hi.
how are you?
All right, and yourself?
I'm good. Leading up to this meeting, um, my technology has been messing around. In particular, when I wrote down your mother's name,
Hmm.
when I wrote down uh, your daughter's name, your son's name, and your wife's name. Uh, my technology froze. So I think that even though we're just doing a testimonial, I think that we might be visited as we usually are, by our guides, by our ancestors. I want to say thank you so much, Victor. Um, oh, I'm already
Praise the
feeling very
Lord.
emotional. I want to say thank you so much for your trust through this process. I met you back in October. You reached
Yes,
out to me back in October. So it's been a long time. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. It's been 7 months of us
yes,
working
really
together,
already.
and you reached out to me in October. And maybe you can tell the people who are watching why it was that you reached out to me.
I was cursed with witchcraft for more than 23 years.
Mhm. Can you
Um,
talk to me a little bit about your culture, and where you come from and the kind of magic that was used to curse you?
yes, my background is Hispanic, so it'll be witchcraft,
Mhm. And you guys are
Mexican
Mexican.
witchcraft. Yes, I'm Mexican. Um, it was all Mexican, yeah, Mexican witchcraft that was done.
Already, I'm feeling Archangel Michael pop into the picture. I believe it was probably Archangel Michael that led you to me, Archangel Michael, the angel of courage, truth, and bravery. And I can even see Archangel Michael there with you right now.
Yeah,
And so maybe we can just take a breath and relax into this, because I feel like this truth telling, this testimonial is going to help you to release a big weight that's been sitting on your family. It's literally an ancestral curse that you
yes.
had asked me to undo. Let's talk a little bit about, give me a second here. Give me a second. So, when you reached out to me, you had told me that your family and your community had been working with a bruja, a Mexican. I'm not sure how to, like a witch doctor, like a medicine
Yeah,
woman.
would it
What
be
is
called
what do you call it?
curandera, like a curandera?
Curandera. A
Yes,
curandera. Kind of, is that similar to like a shaman in
yes,
Mexican culture? So a
almost
curandera.
similar. Yes,
Mhm. Culandera, and her name was Celadonia. And it seemed
yes,
that Celadonia, whose spirit is here with us right now, she is asking to be witnessed. This story is also us telling her story. Celadonia was a culandera who was very, very respected and very powerful, from what I understand. She had
very
many
powerful.
clients in the Mexican community, your entire family being some of those clients, not just you, but your mother, your father, your community. A lot of
The
people
whole
came to this.
community there.
Yeah, a lot of people went to Caledonia for different types of reasons, like health reasons, abundance reasons, all sorts of things she was able to
Everything.
help you guys with. Now, when Caledonia passed about 23 years ago, around the time that the curse was
Yeah,
placed on you,
was around.
around that time when Caledonia passed, you found out that her daughter, named Maribel, was in possession of her book of clients. So she had a very large list of clients in a
Yes,
book, and her daughter was now in possession of the book. The story that you told me, it made me feel as if she used this book of her mother's clients, and maybe you feel your ear ringing as
yeah,
Caledonia is saying thank you for telling my story, because she's quite upset. She's quite upset that her daughter, and rightfully so, used her name, used her reputation to curse people, literally using her mother's list of all of the people that trusted her mother the most,
yeah,
uh, and used that trust that people in the community had placed in her mother to curse these people. And the curse that she had placed on you, I found really intimidating. This is one of the reasons why I initially, when you reached out to me, why I said no, is because what you said that you were cursed with wasn't. I was scared. I was actually very, very scared when you said to me, and I'm wearing gold today. It's not real gold. I'm wearing gold today, gold pants, to bring in some abundance, to call back in this abundance, not only for your family, but also for Caledonia, because she feels really upset that her name and her reputation was used. So Maribel cursed you guys, and it wasn't just like a physical curse where you felt sick, where you felt pain. It was a financial curse too. Can you explain what this financial curse looked like for your family?
I mean, you could barely survive. I mean, it would just keep you afloat. You know what I mean? It's pretty much to where you barely have to eat to pay your bills
So,
and then keep going.
so the financial curse, she had made it so that you were giving her your money.
Yeah,
That was
the
what
rest,
the curse was.
yeah, the rest will go to her. So
Mhm.
it would she would just have us paycheck by paycheck. You know what? This happened. We need to fix this. We need to do this. Something's going on with this person.
So
it would
she
always be something every month.
so she would keep you in fear, tell you that there's curses placed on you. Meanwhile, she's the one cursing you.
Mhm.
So financial domination for years, and it wasn't just your family, it was like your mom, your father, the community, the entire community apparently is under this curse where they are. And when you said this to me, I said, is it possible for you to just stop? Please forgive me for sounding a little bit
Mhm.
insensitive when I said that, right? But when I said to you, can you just stop? Can you just stop giving her all of your money? And you said, no, I can't do that. I can't. Physically, it's impossible. It's compulsive. It's like I'm addicted. And that's what had scared me, was that everybody can see you are a grown man, you have a family,
Yeah.
you have children, and that's what was scary to me, was that a grown man is unable to control himself and is giving not just your financial security, you have a family.
Mhm.
You were giving over your financial security for your family to this woman. And when you approached me, you told me, I'm not well off and I can't stop giving this woman money. She's keeping me poor.
Yeah.
And so that was really significant to me. You had to actually chase me, Victor. You had to chase me down and continue to pursue
Yeah.
asking for my help, because I was like, no,
Yeah.
no. Why would you ask me? I'm not Mexican. That was the other thing. Because I wasn't Mexican, I was like, I don't feel like I'm qualified. This man seems to really trust me, but I don't know anything about Bruja magic. I don't know anything about being um, a Mexican shaman. But you really were firm, and there was something in your body, and I don't know what it is to this day, that made you really, really believe in me.
I
uh
just knew. I knew you were the one.
Thank you so much. Once again, you believed in me and I'm getting emotional about it. You believed in me and you
I knew.
trusted in me in a way that I didn't believe in myself, and I didn't trust that I could do this, because what you were saying to me and the scope of this curse was so intense, and it was so dark. It was so dark. It wasn't just
Yeah.
the financial domination. There was also some physical symptoms that you suffered from too.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh, so let's start from the top down with your eyes.
my eyes, I couldn't. It would be to the point where I'd be driving with my whole family, and I'd start to see blurry. And the next thing I knew was, I was already getting off the road, almost hitting a pole. I mean, it would be that bad. I'd be to the point where I'm looking at something and my eyes would go just blurry. I mean,
So like
not
it's like
even
a
with my glasses on. I mean, I wouldn't
yeah,
wear
no, you're wearing
glasses.
glasses. You're wearing
Yeah, I
glasses.
wear glasses now, but before I we met her, I wouldn't wear glasses. I wouldn't have asthma. I mean, I didn't have a lot of things, Um,
So the
for my
blindness thing.
my blindness was, I couldn't see. Um, Even with my glasses on, I would start to see blurry,
Hmm.
far away. I
Hmm.
mean, near. I mean, you could be right in front of you, and you could just start blurring. Your facial features would start getting blurry, and I would be having my prescription glasses that I'd be getting like maybe 2 days ago. I'd get them 2 days ago, and I'd still be able to see blurry with my glasses.
So there was
Um,
the blindness. There was you. I know that you had broken your ankle like
yeah,
9 years ago, 10 years ago, and
when I
that's
was
a long
younger, yeah,
time. And your ankle was still in a lot of pain. And you
yeah,
said it was excruciating pain to the point where you couldn't work.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, I can't. I mean, you could barely step on it. You could just feel it. I mean, it was not healing.
Mhm.
It'd be pretty much to where they just barely recently operated me, they let me go, and it'd be just like that, and it wouldn't heal. So I
So
mean,
9 years of a injury that it's a normal break. It's not
from
like it
my
was something
operation,
crazy, but it wasn't healing. You were in excruciating pain for 9 years. Uh, the blindness, um, and I mean that's enough. That's quite a good list. We don't have to go any further.
I
But
wasn't able to eat. My stomach, it feel like if I would eat food, I couldn't keep it down. I couldn't
so it
keep
was
water down. I
your
uh,
whole system.
I couldn't sleep. I mean, my head would be somewhere else. I mean, I'd be begging for help in the back of my head, and I could be seeing you, and I could be begging you for help, and not a word will come out of my mouth.
It almost
I
sounds
mean,
like
like if I
paralysis, like
was
sleep
trapped.
paralysis.
Yeah, but I was awake. I'm functioning. I could be driving, but then again, I'm feeling so much pain that I want to ask for help, but then I can't. I'm like on autopilot.
It's like you were frozen. So
Hmm.
I did my first session with you, and it was an hour long. And then even during the session, we worked specifically on your ankle that was in pain.
Yes,
And during the session, I had asked you, picture a pillow around your ankle, and I'm sending you healing into your
still there.
ankle. The pillow is still there around your ankle.
Yeah, it's
Seven,
still there. Yeah,
amazing. Thank you for that confirmation. I didn't know
mhm,
that. But
it's
by the
still
end
there.
of that hour-long session, the pain in your ankle was gone. Your vision had come back.
Yes,
And it was almost like your face, even the expression and the energy that was on your face, it was like it was lifted. You looked like
yes,
you were rested. You looked a lot more comfortable in your body. And
yes,
that was you. That was your first session. I have a list here that I wrote down of all of your family members that I worked on. I worked on you.
yes,
I worked on your mother, Lidovina, on your father, Pedro, on
yes,
your daughter, Yvette, Victor Jr., and Liz. I
yes,
worked on 6 members of your family. That's an immense
yes.
amount of trust that you put into.
And I mean, it's then the only way is because I seen results. Like I said, with me, um, I seen them, and I just wanted the same thing for my family. I mean, I knew you were the one.
Thank you so much. So let me ask you, because I know that my session with you unlocked something in your own mother. She wasn't with us in the room.
Yeah,
She wasn't even in the house. But what happened with your mother, who, as far as I remember, you said that she was paralyzed in her left side. She had a hard time sleeping. She was in a lot of pain.
yeah.
Um, so my session with you affected your mother how?
Um, Immediately got better. Her pain, her
Mhm.
movement, and that was her just being around my energy after my healing.
That's amazing.
Um, Another thing too that's very big is the back of my boy's head. He had a cyst,
Mhm.
and it was protruding in the back of his head, and that went down. I mean, three-quarters of it went down
So he had like a
after,
large cyst on the back of his head and it
yeah,
deflated.
from an injury from school. Yeah, that was provoked at school. Um,
So,
and
wow. Okay.
it went down.
So after your session, it was just me and you. Your mother saw benefits just by being around you. Your
Yes,
son saw benefits just by being around your new healed
yes,
energy. And something I often talk about with this journey is that when you enter into this journey with me, the ripples of healing that happen when you heal, your energy, your healed energy affects everybody around you. And we're seeing that right now with your testimony.
hmm,
So after that, we booked your mother. Your mother
yes,
booked the next session, and your mother came in, and she was paralyzed on her left side. She looked like she was in pain the day
yeah.
that I met with her. Her face looked like
I mean, it
she
was
had
just
a lot of,
drooping.
like literally her jowls
Yeah, it
were
was just
drooping
down.
down. Um, and at the end of her session, 1 hour session, her left side was no longer paralyzed. She was also losing her vision as well, as
Yes,
far as you were telling me. Her vision was back. Um, and the weight that was on her face, the stress that was on her face was gone.
yes,
Then came your father. Your father came next. And when he came to see me, I watched him walk into the session with his back
Yeah,
bent over like a
yeah.
hunchback.
It's like a
He was
hunchback,
suffering
yes.
from back pains.
Yeah, from his it was from his injury from his leg, pretty much it went all the way to that to where he got a neuro pain pump in the back of his back. So
So he
he
was,
goes off that. Yeah.
so, and at the end of his session with me, he was able to stand up straight.
Hmm.
His face looked younger. His face looked lifted as well, just like with your mother. The weight was gone, the stress was gone, and within just 1 hour.
Yeah, he was if you notice in the video, he's kind of when he walks into the room, he's kind of like yellowish green,
Oh,
pale,
really?
kind of pale. And then when he leaves, you can see actual color in his face.
Oh, I didn't, Victor, I didn't notice that. I'll have to watch
Yeah.
that video again. Thank you so much. So the color
Hmm.
came back to his face.
Yeah.
Yellow green
He
is
was
that's not a
he
nice
was
color.
yeah,
That's
no.
not a good color. So it's sounding like Maribel, this evil bruja, who put this curse on you. It was a curse that affected your entire family, your physical bodies, your mind, your emotions. Everything was affected. And then just recently, 2 weeks ago, I met
Hmm.
with your children, and that was a really big deal for me. Meeting with your children, for some reason, there's a certain level of trust that exists there with me when you introduce me to your children. It's one thing to be adults, right? But children,
Yeah.
um, and Yvette, uh, isn't her quiz coming up sometime soon?
Her
Quinceanera?
I didn't hear you. Or her graduation
No, no,
soon.
no, her quinceanera.
And yeah, she's gonna be 15 in October, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. Because
Yeah.
they were telling me about her quiz that they said for me to
Or
send something to
quinceañera.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to be sending her something for her quiz.
Okay.
So Yvette, when she came to me, lovely girl, very, she was so shy. She was suffering from a couple physical things. She had blindness as well in her eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, she had blindness.
All
She
right.
had pain in her knees. And then was there anything else? I can't remember right now.
Yeah. I want to also add you know what, out of all my kids, she was the worst one um to when it would come when you would try to get her attention and she would just be lost.
Oh,
And
okay.
the words that how kind of me and my wife would talk about it.
Mhm,
We'll just talk to each other, and it was kind of a code thing. We'd be like, you're in space again, and
mhm,
she'd be like, yep. And you
mhm.
could just see her eyes. I mean, they would get lost. It's like if
Right.
she was looking out into nothing.
Mhm, mhm.
If there was, you know what I mean, just blink. I mean, a blank
Like
stare. I
a
mean,
dissociation, like you're disconnected from reality.
yeah, she would go into the room.
Mhm,
I mean, as dark as possible. Wouldn't want to come out. Now she actually comes out,
mhm,
watches a movie with us,
mhm,
is around us. Now
mhm.
she actually gives me a hug. Before, that's another thing she did was put my kids against me
Yeah, so
to the point
yeah,
where
there
my
was
kids didn't want to be around me. They didn't want to even give me a hug. I mean, they were okay around me because I'm the dad, but I mean to the point where I couldn't give them a hug, where they would just reject me.
mhm.
Even my littlest one. So I mean,
So
all that changed for me.
all of I mean, it sounds like she tried to put separations between everybody so that you would never
Everybody.
be able to find connection. You can't find support. You can't find because there's something about when you feel bad in your body, a hug can really help things to feel
Oh
better.
yeah.
But to affect your ability to have physical affection with your children and vice versa, that's a
Hmm.
real evil thing.
Yeah. She
That's
took
part of why I was so scared, right? Because of the effect that it had on your children. Um, that was part of the reason why I didn't want to have anything to do with this. Because if somebody's willing to curse your children, that's that's a lot of confidence in how evil she is.
Yep.
Somebody who's willing to curse innocent children is a whole next level of evil. So let's
Yep.
move on to Victor Jr. Victor
Hmm.
Jr., who had the cyst, and
Yes.
then after your first session with me, his cyst shrunk down.
Yeah.
And I know there's some personal stuff with Victor. We don't have to get into like the very personal
Yeah.
stuff. uh, because that's not nice. But I know that he had some physical things that he was dealing with. The one thing that was really striking to me was how, when he was sleeping at night, it was almost as if his body would become possessed, and he
Yeah.
would bend his body backwards into a
Yes.
bridge that was very unnatural, and it was actually physically painful for him.
Yes.
And he would wake up, or you would have to wake him up in the middle of the night because he would be screaming in pain
Yeah,
because
and
his body,
he wouldn't wake up. It's like if he didn't know, and he was
yeah.
just being stretched out but backwards. And
Uh-huh.
coming to that, now we're on that subject. Um, now we're there. You know what? His sleeping got way better.
Mhm.
He doesn't do that no more.
Great.
He doesn't toss and turn. He moves normal. My little one too. I mean, my little one, same. He's
Mhm.
good too. I mean, their sleep got way better. I mean, he's not afraid to go to sleep anymore.
Victor Jr. I
Yes.
could imagine that because he's 8. I can imagine that if you don't feel like you have control over your own body and your body is bending itself, and it's literally, I can only describe it as like a possession where you don't have
Yeah.
control and it's hurting you.
Yeah. I mean,
That would be terrifying to me. Absolutely, that would be terrifying to me if I was a child. That would be terrifying to me as an adult. If
yeah,
that happened to me, Victor, oh
trying to bend him straight. I mean, to where he's supposed to be. A comfortable position for him to sleep, and
yeah,
he's bending. The
it's like
opposite way.
he's like fighting you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
Uh, So I know that we mentioned Xavier, your youngest. So let's just touch base on Xavier real quickly because I had no idea um, that your youngest was dealing with any issues. But you told
Yeah.
me after
Yeah.
my healing with Liz, with your wife, your 3-year-old who was non, I'm not saying nonverbal, but kind of nonverbal, was not
Yeah.
speaking
They were
in the
just
way that like a normal 3-year-old
yeah.
speaks in sentences and phrases. Your 3-year-old was not speaking like that.
No. And that's something else she did also. She delayed everything in my boy.
That's what it sounds like. So
Hmm.
he wasn't speaking
No.
like a normal 3-year-old, but then
No.
right after Liz's
Yeah.
session with me,
Um,
he began speaking in full
yeah.
sentences, which that made
Actually,
me proud. That
yeah.
made me
Right after the session, out of nowhere, we heard somebody talk. And I told my wife, I told Liz, you know what? Did you hear that? Who was that? That was new to us, new voice, a straight sentence. And it was my boy. It was Xavier that he just
oh,
went straight to sentences.
I'm just
Yeah.
I'm getting very emotional right now. So
Now he's a
please,
chatterbox.
and now you're like, please stop talking.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I can even picture it in my head. You and Liz sitting in a room, and you hear a child's voice, and you're like, who is that child? Because we have 3, and
Yeah, we're
who's
like,
this?
who's that? Yeah, like, well, did you hear that? I go, did you hear what I hear? Did you just hear what I heard? Because sometimes we'll hear things. She'll catch it, or I'll catch it, or we'll both catch it at the same time. And this time we're like, did you hear that? What? Who was that? And then Yvette comes running. That was Xavier. So yeah,
That's that's
he stopped
amazing.
throwing tantrums. No more tantrums.
Mhm.
Um, he's not really picking his food anymore. I mean, there's a lot of changes in him. A lot of changes in him. I mean,
I met him one time and I know he was sitting in the room during the healings and stuff, but he
yeah,
wasn't directly healed. And so I find that to be such a testament to the power of the guides that we work with, because
yeah.
my guides are also your guides. I just think it's such a testament, and I'm so grateful that you picked me and that I was able to channel all this healing to you, because I can't take credit. I can't take credit for their work. All I can say is that I'm a channel, and uh, they asked me to help you, and so I sit here
You
and
gotta
help.
have what it takes, not just anybody. That's where you're where you're at. Not
You.
just anybody.
I'm just like, I'm overwhelmed with emotion. Like I'm feeling so I feel so supported and so loved, and so I feel like really good about myself. You really put me to the test. You and
I
your
mean,
family really put me to the test. You
and
really challenged my ability, like, and my I didn't know what I was capable of until you came into my life and you forced me to do it, and you
I
didn't
was
give
like,
me
I'm
a
not
choice.
taking no for an answer. I know she's the one. She's gonna do it. she's badass. I told my wife, "Well, it's right here. This is where it's at." I go,
Um,
"You'll see."
I can't wait. Like I have full hope in the fact that your entire family is going to continue to grow. And with Liz, with your wife, because we haven't touched base with Liz yet. Liz married into your family, so she's not an
Yes.
Aguayo, but she is by blood, and she has her own stuff going on with her own family. Um, can we talk about some of the changes that Liz saw?
Yeah. Um, she was suffering from she would feel bloated a lot from her stomach,
Mhm.
bloated. Um, her sleep patterns were were off. You could talk to her and she would answer you, but then when she would wake up, she won't remember. She'd be like, "Hey, remember I asked you, you said it was okay." And
Mhm.
then she would say no. Well, no, I didn't. So, the kids would find a way to that's how they get away with stuff.
Yeah, of
But
course.
yeah,
Mhm.
now they can't do it no more. So, she's her head was very foggy, had a lot of migraines,
Mhm. Mhm.
a lot of pains in her uterus.
Oh, okay.
All that went away. A lot of pain in her back, her kidney area,
Mhm. Mhm.
all that. I
All right.
mean, so all that, she's good right now. Right now, you could say that her body's actually resting
Wonderful.
from all that. I mean, it was years. I mean,
That's what trauma will do to you. And addressing deep-seated childhood wounds and stuff like that will remind your body that it's holding on to something for like
yeah,
a
she
really.
found closure. She found closure. You gave her closure, and she needed, you gave her what she needed to hear.
Mhm. Mhm. Uh, and I appreciate Liz being so vulnerable. I can understand that it was like a very difficult thing for her to disclose all the
Oh
things
yeah,
that she
she
talked to you
said there's
about.
no doubt about it. The healing,
Um, whew, that's a
and she,
lot.
and
That's a
she's
lot.
she's a hard one. She's a hard one to convince. She's a
Yeah, no, I
very
mean,
hard one
that's what
to
it was,
convince.
is that she had to watch
Hmm.
your entire family, five
Yeah,
people go before her before she was like, okay, now it's my turn.
yeah, because she goes, you can't blame me. What I went through. I'm like, yeah, I can't blame you. I go, but I'm gonna show you. Watch, I go, you would do one healing, positive effects. You look what happened. I go, see, I told you. Next, see, I told you. I go, what are you waiting for? What are we waiting for?
What I find really interesting is that this process has a lot to do with trust.
Yeah,
And when you trust in this process, what I think most people recognize, and they don't realize this is what's going to happen, but the trust that you find in yourself, the ability to trust yourself that you're able to make good decisions
yeah,
for yourself, that you are able to pick people to be in your life who are good for you and who care about you and support you, especially considering where you guys are coming from. For the last 23 years, you thought you could trust this lady. You
yeah,
thought you could, and then she did the exact opposite. So I understand completely why it was so difficult to just jump blindly into trusting somebody who you've never met before, who lives in a different country from you, who is a different culture. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Uh, but for some reason, the universe aligned for us to meet. And I've learned so much. I've learned so much about myself. I've learned so much about uh, where I can go with this. And um, I really think, and I'm looking forward to seeing your family blossom. I'm really looking forward to watching the Agayos step into their gift. I really believe that you are meant to be a leader for your community, and the healing that I did for you, as Archangel Michael sends you some love to your heart, and you can feel it. This trusting thing that you did by trusting me helped to unlock in your heart your true purpose. And I think that you can feel it. I think that for your family, this next year is going to be full of opportunities and abundance. And I can feel the ancestral wealth flowing back to you. It's coming back to you in the form of physical health, in the form of mental acuity and stability and confidence. Already that's what's flowing to you. So thank you so much for your
mm,
time today, Victor. um, and I can't wait for us to continue to work together. Maybe next time I'll meet young Xavier.
right.
Okay, I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Okay,
Thank you so much for
all
your
righty.
time.
Thank
Okay,
you
bye.
very much. Bye bye.